Everything I've done has been kind of on the edge. I mean, I don't go scuba dive to go for entertainment. I am what some people call a citizen scientist. I just prefer to call myself a researcher or an explorer. And I try to get film of behavior or animals that are very difficult to film and let people have access to that know more than me, that can make some assessment as to what it is that I saw. And that's why I started with Humboldt squid. My whole life was all like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and giant squid when I was a kid.
Explain what Humboldt squid are to the audience.
Oh my God, the Psittacus gaius. It's a magnificent squid that is human sized. They grow from the size of a sesame seed up to as big as 8 feet and 200 plus pounds in less than 2 years. Now that's a same as a human baby growing to the size of a blue whale in the same amount of time. So the growth rate is absolutely extraordinary, and they're always hungry. They're voracious. They're vicious, and they're problem-solving intelligent, and they learn faster than most primates. And so when you put a problem in front of them, they are thinking, how can I eat that safely and not get hurt? It's extraordinary. I've seen them. Um, I mean, I tried to hide in a shark cage once, and one of the squid opened up the shark cage up off the top. He didn't touch any part of the shark cage. He touched the latch. And
Wow.
he touched the latch
And
because
were
he
they
saw
trying to
what it
eat
did to
you?
lock it.
Did
Yeah,
they
to
see
get
you
in,
as
right.
food?
Yeah, to get into me. Yeah.
Wow. And how did you
So,
fend that off? Uh,
held onto the lock.
You held on to the lock.
Yeah, but I later learned how to dive with them without cages and just with chainmail armor or body panel armor and stuff, and cabled to the boat. They'll drag you down.
Yeah, I saw a video of you. It was on the Discovery Channel, and they came after you and did try to drag you down. And you had to stitch up your neck because the beak is so strong. It's like being bit by a crocodile.
It's bad. Yeah, it can amputate your hand in about 2 seconds or so because they're the beak is as big as a man's hand, and it is as sharp as trauma shears, and it has the power of a vice. So it's a remarkable piece of equipment, and the chitinous, the polysaccharide that it's made out of, self sharpens as it grows, and it flexes, so it finds the path of least resistance to cut through whatever bone or body part that it's incising through. It's extraordinary. So it can take a bite the size of an orange every 2 to 3 seconds, and hang on to you. Just keep biting. So whatever the beak can cut off can be swallowed through his brain, which is shaped like a donut, by the way. The throat goes right through the brain, and so it actually feeds on you while you're still alive. So they don't care to kill you and make sure it's safe to approach you like a white shark will do or like a tiger will do. They just grab you and start eating, and
Oh my God.
they never travel alone. There's hundreds of them, and sometimes thousands. And so,
Thousands of these Humboldt squid that are 8 feet long, 200 pounds, attacking
absolutely.
anything within sight.
Yep. I've filmed them. I've in one frame of film I counted 111 6 foot squid that were about 125 pounds apiece.
Oh my!
In one
And
frame of film, yeah, it's
do
incredible.
humans fish these? Like, is this what we're going to be eating in a sushi restaurant?
Well, it's too bad because young squid, different species like Loligo opalescens and uh, other types of like Neuroteuthus and stuff, they're actually delicious tasting animals. The problem is that these are big squid. They're one of the five giant species. So whenever they grow to a certain size, that they don't have a swim bladder. And so what they do is they start to chemically change the muscle tissue. And as they become heavier, they store more uric acid
Uh-huh.
inside every muscle cell, which that uric acid ion is lighter weight than the water molecule around it, so that it helps it float. Doesn't have a big liver like a shark full of oil, doesn't have a swim bladder. So they transition to having this uric acid in their muscles. So eating a big Humboldt squid is like trying to eat a tire that somebody peed on.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's
Well, I
not
take it
good.
that's why we don't fish them.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
so what are the predators of the Humboldt squid? In the what
Marlin,
keeps the population in check?
animals that we like to eat. One that we don't, the elephant seal is a predator, but also sperm whales. But the biggest predators were tuna. Tuna population's less than 3% of what it was. Marlin. Marlin percentages have dropped. Thank God it's a fast reproducing fish. Swordfish. but also sharks. Primarily the sharks that we like to eat, primarily in China for shark fin soup. The pelagic species are big predators of the Humboldt squid, and their populations have declined incredibly. The oceanic white-tip shark in the last 40 years went to a healthy population to less than 1%.
Oh my God.
99% of the oceanic white-tips are dead because of Chinese white shark fin soup. And my favorite shark in the world, the blue shark, which we had a lot of here in California, they're almost gone. Same reason, because they're pelagic and they travel all the way into the areas off the coast of the Philippines, which most of the Chinese purchase of shark fin are through the Filipino fishermen.
And you mentioned to me offline that the Chinese emperor was the aficionado of shark fin. What happened to Chinese who used to try to eat shark fin in the time of the emperor?
Oh, they were killed.
They were killed.
They couldn't eat that animal. You can't eat a major predator like a bear or a shark or other big predator, because you would embody the power of that animal and you'd be a bigger ruler and potentially a threat. And so you weren't allowed to eat that under pain of death. And now, the last 40 years or so, with this, the largest economic transference of wealth in human history has occurred with the last 40 years with the rise of China. And this myth, this lie that Chinese eat shark fin soup because it's their culture is a damn lie. In fact, it's the opposite. They weren't allowed to eat that. But now they all basically consider themselves all emperors because of their newfound wealth. So, hey, if the emperors ate it, so am I. So it's a fashion. The shark population of the world has declined because of something as fashionable as blue jeans.
Wow. And it's a status symbol now in China.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's tasteless. It's not very good nutrition wise. In fact, shark species of the pelagics have a high percentage of mercury. So it's really not a good fish to eat. These bigger sharks that have big oil-based livers, and so they sequester a lot of mercury. So we're talking about a high mercury-based, tasteless, nutritionless thing that they eat, which is causing an entire shift of the ecosystems across the globe. So that's genius.